Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Amazing Shinsengumi, Heroes in Love. We're on Okita Soji's route, Chapter 6, No Need to Be Shy. Let's hope we aren't shy, although of course we're gonna be. Let's get a little closer, Soji. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. After that, Soji said his coat was stained red with the blood from other people. He made excuses and smiled. He said it was heat stroke, or that he was anemic. Liar! But I witnessed Soji spit out blood. It was dark, and seeing Soji alright made me feel better, so I may have been wrong. Is it alright if I just leave him alone? No! Well, there's nothing you can do anyway, but... The incident at Ikedaya made the Shinsengumi more renowned. They received a monetary reward, and suddenly became active. They had a banquet at a geisha house. The soldiers made a ruckus and had a festive time. I saw them off to the front door as I was cleaning, and I went toward the garden. It felt a bit lonely when the military post became so silent. When I arrived at the garden, I saw Soji sitting alone on the veranda. Soji didn't go with them. I didn't see him leave with them, so that's what I thought. It eased my worries. Huh? Oh. Soji was surprised when he looked over at me. It seemed like he stared off into space more often after that incident. Is he feeling ill? Yes. I put my cleaning tools aside and checked up on Soji. Somehow, his bright and shining face was a bit pale.
Even though they're injured, Shinpachi and Heisuke went out to party. There's no way I'd stay because of that.
Soji jokingly smiled.
Perhaps it would be better for you if I had gone to Shimbara.
This time, he had a mischievous smile on his face. Shimbara was a famous red light district. I knew the soldiers had headed over there, but... If possible, I don't want you to go.
You're being honest?
Soji quietly laughed.
There's no way I could go if you tell me that, Chizuru. In exchange, will you entertain me?
What? Yes, please! He took my hand and stared at me happily as I blushed. No, that wasn't what I meant. With that in mind, I asked once again. Did you actually want to go? If you did, then why?
What kind of answer are you looking for?
Soji replied with a bitter smile.
I wasn't in the mood today. Are you satisfied with that answer?
Soji sighed as he said that. He had nothing else to say. No, I wanted you to say that you wanted to stay because you wanted to be with me. Or tell me the truth and say you were just sick. Soji would sometimes take a rest from training. Toshizo said he might be exhausted after such a big mission. Hajime was worried that he would be exhausted for a long time. Is that really all? No, sadly. I'm sorry, I know I keep saying that. Hopefully you all know your history and know what I'm talking about. Or, have seen other stories of the Shinsengumi. After that, I heard the Choshu army was gathering at Mount Tenno, Fushimi, and Sagatenryuji Temple. The shogunate started mobilizing in Aizu, Kuwana, and Satsuma. The Shinsengumi were also deployed. Soji wasn't added to that formation. The sick and injured were to stay on base. It wasn't like a war was about to break out. They were all just glaring at each other. It just sounds funny, I could just imagine, two factions standing there just glaring at each other. Toshizo predicted this. Soji laughed and said that's why he didn't take him. Street fights could break out at any time. It was a tense situation, even though he should be mindful of his health. Can I sit next to you? I asked Soji, who was always sitting on the veranda spacing out.
You again?
What do you mean, me again?
You must have a lot of free time.
With a bitter smile, he threw some impish words at me. I'm supposed to be taking care of you. I'm doing my job properly. Here's something I patched up. I held out something I was proud of working on. Soji burst into laughter. The tranquil mood floated away as... Soji covered his mouth and coughed violently. Oh. Soji!
Don't touch me.
As I stretched my arm out to him, he lashed out at me. Shocked, I unconsciously took my hand back.
Sorry for yelling at you. It's best if you don't touch me. I'll have your duties as my caretaker revoked. I'll ask Captain Kondo.
He stated it clearly and stood up. Soji! I left my patched up piece there and followed Soji as he went back to his room.
I'm telling you not to follow me, Chizuru. Do I have to say it more clearly? You're a nuisance.
Standing in front of his room, he turned around and told me. He stared at me with cold eyes. I looked at his eyes and... I won't accept it. I won't accept it. Saying that so suddenly, I can't agree to that. My voice was shaking as I replied.
Even if you can't agree with it, you will follow my orders. I don't want you to be by my side.
He said it bluntly. However, I knew those weren't his true feelings. Saying something like that so suddenly. Maybe he... Are you worrying about how you were coughing earlier? I asked him, and his expression changed.
If you're next to me, you might end up dead.
His voice squeezed out as he opened his mouth.
It was the same at the fire, and at Ikedaya. If you're with me, you'll just continually be put in danger.
As a result, I didn't touch him when he coughed. I couldn't deny what he said. Soji quietly spoke. I'm sure the anguish on his face wasn't just my imagination. Why are you saying something like that?
It's because I don't want you to die. I couldn't stand it if it was caused by being involved with me.
But I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die either, Soji.
Chizuru.
During the fire and while arresting people, you're the one who's constantly in danger, Soji.
I'm a samurai. This is the life I chose.
I want to choose as well. Rather than wondering when I'm going to die, I'd rather live my life with you as long as I can.
I can't win against you.
Blushing! Soji put his hand on his forehead and smiled bitterly. His face was a little red.
Why are you so desperate?
I never thought guys blushing was adorable until I started playing otome games. Well, more recently. Because I played otome games before, it was just when I started getting more into them again this time, I started paying more attention to the blushing dudes. Huh?
Normally people would back away knowing that their life was in danger.
Well, I'm in love with you.
Even more so for women. It's not like you want to protect someone or take revenge. Why do you continue to?
That's because what he said was true. During the time at Ikedaya, I wanted to help everyone and protect Kyoto. But now my reason is, I just don't want to be apart from Soji. I'm sure I'll give up if he tells me he hates me and doesn't want to see my face. I can't accept being pushed away because of danger. Even if it's dangerous, I want to be by Soji's side. At a time like this, I realize this fact. Even if I come across something scary, even if he bullies me, I know I want to be here.
What's wrong? Why so silent all of a sudden?
Soji became suspicious and looked at my face. What should I do? Should I tell Soji my feelings? I should... Tell him... I think... After finally being able to say that much, I couldn't say the rest very well. But Soji seemed to have guessed as he saw how red I was.
Oh, what do you think?
Nevertheless, he asked me. He was grinning. You're such a bully.
Do you want me to be gentler? Or do you want me to tease you some more?
After pouting and complaining, Soji smiled and took my hand. He took me into his room, closed the door, and pushed me down with his hands on my waist. In contrast to his rough actions, he laid me down on the floor softly. Soji looked straight at me as he hung over me.
You're not going to resist?
His voice was quiet, as if he had been waiting for this moment, as if he was angry. I slowly shook my head side to side.
I'm not responsible for whatever happens.
You're not going to take responsibility for your own actions?
I desperately tried to push you away.
That is true.
If you don't escape now, you'll regret it. I'm all ready. I can't take my hands off you anymore, Chizuru.
I won't regret it, but we're going to get interrupted again, aren't we? I won't regret it. I told him clearly. I mean, please don't let go of me.
You're such a foolish person.
Affection was mixed in his objecting tone. Soji.
No need to be shy. Say my name.
Soji. I said it with hesitation, and Soji smiled back at me. I was determined to say his name again, as if they were clamping down. Soji's lips softly touched mine. At first it was gentle, just a peck. Then it gradually became rougher and rougher. He undid the bow on my kimono and slipped his hand inside. He wasn't violent like he was before. I wasn't scared at all. I was happy when he touched me. I wanted to feel more of his warmth. Thinking that, I put my arms around his back. Then, we slowly... Our bodies connected for a long period of time. Who would have thought that Soji would be much more proactive than Sanosuke? Oh, I love it. I love you, Soji. But still, I mean, he's worried about me contracting his tuberculosis, right? But I don't know, honestly, I don't really know much about tuberculosis. I'm not sure how it spread, and I'm not sure how they thought it spread back then either, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he is worried about doing this, but I decided to take the risk. I'm thinking that's how it is. You know, when it comes to that, guys don't have much willpower to resist. Oh, I know that was terribly sexist of me to say. That was so horrible. That was so politically incorrect. I mean, some of us women don't exactly have that much will to resist either sometimes, depending on who we are and what situation we're in. Probably shouldn't have said that either. Well, anyway, before I dig myself even deeper, I hope to see you in my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.